everyone. I'm Rebecca Weber. This is your AMAC podcast, Better for America. Today, folks, I am so thrilled to have with us a longtime friend of AMAC, someone who's pro-business, pro-property rights, and pro-freedom. He is Representative Daniel Webster of Florida's 11th District, and Congressman Webster represents over 16,000 AMAC members in his district alone. We are absolutely honored to have you with us today on the show. Welcome, Congressman Webster.
Great to be on.
We here at AMAC, we have always recognized you as being a real fighter for American seniors, which is why we awarded you recently with the AMAC Patriot Award. And I want to talk with you, sir, about something that means a great deal to our members, but also to the late and great Dan Weber, my father, and that is the Helping Everyone Access Long-Term Care Act, or the HEALTH Act. Sir, this is a new solution to providing health care services to low-income Medicaid-eligible families, and it really has the potential to help lower costs of Medicaid and CHIP programs by increasing access and enabling people to develop a patient-doctor relationship where otherwise they may not have had that relationship. We also see the terrible burden on emergency rooms. If I could share with you a quick story. Many years ago, when I was just a young girl, my folks brought me to the doctor. It was actually here in the Adirondacks. And unfortunately, my father, when he was there with my mother, they saw a little baby infant, unfortunately, who passed away, who didn't make it because this particular mom had no health coverage and just simply waited too long to get her child to the emergency room. At that point, it had been too long, and this baby passed away of whooping cough, which is something that can be taken care of today with the medicine and proper diagnosis and early diagnosis. And so ever since then, I know that Dan Weber, my father, always shared with me how sad it was that those in low income just don't have affordable access to health insurance. Sir, we applaud you for coming up with this great idea, and this is called the Health Act. If you could share with our listeners exactly what it is.
Everybody is benefited by this, and it's like a win-win-win situations, which we love those things. Number one, the doctor gets to establish a relationship with his patient, and that doctor gets a credit for all the services that he performs from the federal government on their taxes. The federal government gets just the credit charge and not the bill. So Medicaid, Medicare, and all that doesn't foot the bill. And then in the end, the patient also gets to establish this relationship with a doctor, and it's the care they need from the doctor they choose, and that's really what we want to do. We want to give everybody more choices, more opportunities to get that care that you were talking about was denied because of just slow response.
That's exactly right. Well, we applaud you, and we think that this is a great way to really incentivize doctors to treat these patients and to do it almost like pro bono is what I call it, with services treated as a charitable deduction. Thank you so much, sir. We think that this is going to save billions on federal and state Medicaid programs, so we really do applaud your leadership on this front. I want to turn and ask you a question on the Inflation Reduction Act. Our over 2 million AMAC members call this a very bad bill. They also call this a deceptive bill because we see it as not reducing inflation, but instead adding pressure onto the economy and on average Americans. Now, assuming Republicans win the House and prayerfully the Senate, we're hopeful that this terrible, terrible bill could be addressed and perhaps stopped. What should our listeners know about the Inflation Reduction Act, and how likely do you think that Republicans will be able to stop it or stop portions of it?
Well, I think the one thing is it's not a reduction in deficit spending. It's not, and it's misnomer. It depends on the people paying more taxes, and then that helps reduce the debt. I don't see how that's a benefit to anybody. So we just think it's just another opportunity for Democrats to have big government, spend more money, use it to for nothing more than just addressing issues that they think are important. However, they're using money that's borrowed money.
Thank you very much. And we see American seniors just really worried. Their pensions are eroding. We're engaged with AMAC membership, and they're saying that the value of their savings is declining and prices are rising. And meanwhile, Biden gives away hundreds of billions of dollars to former students. Now, this I thought was very interesting, sir. The University of Pennsylvania Wharton School estimates that this action could well exceed the 10-year $500 billion cost estimate. And you said on social media that making hardworking Americans pay for someone else's personal debt is wrong. And we agree with you there, Congressman. What can we do to put an end to this presidential overreach? I mean, to me, this just seems that he didn't go about this the right way. And he's funneling money to people, in my view, that probably need it least. There are certainly different segments of our population that would much better benefit from a government handout. What do you make of all of this, and what can we do to put an end to this kind of government overreach?
Well, even Nancy Pelosi unequivocally said that the president did not have the authority to do what he's doing. And now she's turning around and saying, well, maybe he does. We are giving up a right that Congress has. We're the policy-making arm of government. We set the policy. We make the votes. We check what's being raised and spend it the way we see fit. This is totally an overreach. It's something that I spoke out against all the time, not just on this, but there have been others who've tried the same thing and done the same thing or similar, in that the president, by fiat, comes in and circumvents all of the committee hearings and the debate and the discussion and the votes by the House and Senate in order to do what they want to do. It's wrong.
Yeah, it's very true. It's very sad. And that's why we appreciate you, sir, defending America's values and standing up for the conservative voices across this country. We appreciate you and all that you do. Before we let you run, I just would like to ask you to share some hope with our listeners for the future. We predict that we'll see a red wave and hopefully take over both the House and the Senate. How likely do you think that is? And how hopeful are you about the 2022 midterms and then looking to 2024?
Well, I am resting a whole lot on just the fact that we've got a good opportunity to take the majority back. Even if we had one house, I want both houses, but if we only had one, we can stop some of the stuff that's going on. We can stop the bills that are being proposed that are way to the left. And Nancy Pelosi needs to be fired. We'll do it. We can get it done. We can make it happen. And then we can decide who comes and testifies. We can decide what we're going to investigate. We can decide what our selective committees are doing in oversight, because we'll be in control. The Democrats will have no power in that case. And so I feel very, very good about what could happen. I think, too, they're handing it to us. They could have played a little closer to the middle, tried to win us over, do some things, let us be involved. Didn't happen. They went way to the left and basically have done all kinds of legislation which wouldn't see the light of day in the Senate for right now, but still it's out there. We won't let that happen.
That's right. I mean, it does appear to all of us here that there is a desperate attempt by the left to do whatever it is that they can do, understanding or knowing that they will lose control. And sometimes people do desperate things when they see that they're not going to have the control that they currently have. We appreciate you so much, Congressman. Thank you for your candor and for your long-term friendship with AMAC and your leadership. It's an honor to have you with us, and I look forward to inviting you back with us after the midterm elections.
Great. Look forward to that, too. My wife and I both are members of AMAC, and we love the organization. We love your newsletter and your magazine. It's all good.
Congressman, thank you again so much for joining us. And to all of our listeners out there, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like, follow, and share whenever you are on social media. I'm Rebecca Weber. This is your podcast, Better for America. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you next time.